All right, we're live. We've got
Awesome,
Crystal
awesome.
and Pastor Brock.
Yep, happy Women's History Month.
Oh, okay. Well, let's start the music.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
All right. Welcome. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. Is that your phone or my phone? Oh, man. All right. Hey, listen, what we're going to do right now, what we're going to do now is we're going to click on our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
Not guilty.
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage where
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. It was freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own emancipation proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country, Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, welcome everyone. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mont Branch Library. And big shout out to Kevin and the staff here, Andrea, Olivia, Teresa, and some of those that I missed. But big shout out. They always roll out the red, black, and green carpet for us. So let's get into some introductions. We've got two dynamic guests today, Jody. So we've been doing good this month so far. All right. Hope I didn't jinx it by saying that, but hey, we've been jinxed before. Let's get into some introductions. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm the one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey. It was their idea way back in 2014 to come up with this concept called community solidarity, and we really didn't have to wait for the preachers, pastors, politicians, or professionals to speak truth to power. We felt that we could do something ourselves, so we got the bullhorn, which we still got today, right on the desk, and we bring some facts in and make it happen. What am I wearing today? Today I have on my black glasses from Optical and Twix in between. So if you see Christian Moncrief, she has the Optical van. Mention my name. What is it? 20% off? Did you say 25% off?
She
all right.
Come to the door one day.
Like, all right. Hey. And sell me some glasses. That's what you're gonna do, Christian. I've got my brown hat on. I've got this it's got a red, black, and green stone that Jody made for me.
From Salem, Massachusetts.
All right, from Salem, Massachusetts. And okay, all right, there's that. And as always, I'm dedicated to respect and protecting and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And we put this together for the activist culture and the protest community, where we have a platform where we can shout out the people that are actually doing the work, and we can invite who we want, when we want. And also, I'm one of the registered and active member of the Nation of Islam. We're getting to the end of Ramadan. All right, so
almost there.
Right, so you can eat whatever you want. Well, we should be doing that anyway. We should.
You can eat in the daylight.
Okay, all right. Well, I could miss a meal or two, but hey, Jody, I think that I'm finished with introducing myself. If you could introduce yourself, then we're going to get into our mission statement, our guiding principles. We'll take a short break and come back with our first guest.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, the treasure of this wonderful organization that has been going on for over a decade, and a podcast that's reaching 6 years now. So we thank you, each and every one that chooses to tune in to us every single Tuesday, or maybe later, because we do understand that around this time you got sports going on, people getting off of their 9 to 5, different stuff, bipolar weather, knocking down trees and everything like that. But
okay, you didn't have to call it bipolar. All right, okay,
bipolar, because like 2 days ago it was 70.
All right.
But now we got snow flurries and all that good stuff. Most of the country is on the whole air ban where things ain't flying, but we thank you for coming and listening to us. And for those of you that can't see us, that are on Spotify, I am a big brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and stones and bones and artifacts from doing this for the last decade, writing books, starring in movies and stage plays, and helping out other grassroots organizations. The people that you see around my neck are people that have been there through the journey. I am wearing my brand hat, my brand hoodies, sticks behind me, and yeah, it's really nice to see you guys all back, even with the tumultuous times that the country is going through, for you to stay educated and informed about your community and what's going on. How do you get to this point? How do you, continue to go after a decade and no funding and all the other stuff? Is people that you come across, rules that you come across, things that fit with your mission statement. And we have something that is a mission statement and
the guiding principles. And that's kind of the glue that keeps this together. I always say that we're like the Avengers of the activists. All right. There's all different types of us. We and all different allies and supporters. And how do you keep all that together without us imploding? And
Avengers before the Infinity War movies.
Yeah, okay.
Everything after that kind of fell off.
I didn't think it was that deep, but all right, okay, all right.
The original OG crew. But and we again thank you for coming, because you could be listening to any other podcast, the triggering trauma, toxic type, but you choose to stay informed. And we love that from you guys and our audiences who let us know when sound isn't right, because this is
it's live. It's live.
It's live, and it's put together and produced by us. And
that's the problem, right? That's where the problem happens right there. But hey, we're making it happen today. And also we've got our B camera, our behind the scenes camera right now. So you get a chance to see that Jody's not memorizing the words. He's reading it from a paper. All right.
Not really, but we keep that just to keep the idea that anybody can do this. As most people know, me touring around the world and stuff, memorizing stuff isn't really a problem. But for those that are starting the podcast, because I heard we had some guests come in earlier that I was on their podcast like a decade ago almost, and that makes it fresh. So it doesn't seem like it's ridiculous to get into, because this is actually fun. This is my Tuesday where I get to meet the community and stuff like that. And over the years, you've seen our equipment go from just a cell phone on a stand to everything you see behind and in front of us. So how do you get to that point when the world seems like it's on fire and everybody just has gasoline draws on? You keep your Bible. You keep your mission statement through whatever is going on. And this is ours. I hope when you find an organization or a job or something, they have a list of rules to stand on, so you won't just be out there floating in the wind.
All right.
Anyway, we are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, provoked, attacked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice. Equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. And justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
And maybe later on we'll get into our
Black Lives Matter moments.
Right. And I've got a really great one from 2016. We had a memory shared on Facebook today, and we'll get into that. But I want to get into our guiding principles. We came across these in 2015 at the Movement of Black Lives convening in Cleveland, Ohio. And it was a group of young people, like hundreds of them. I think I was the oldest one there. And they had these guiding principles for their event. And we took it, added some things to it to make it our own. And these are the CSRN guiding principles. All Black lives matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And Ashe means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people should be at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
And I said about our Black Lives Matter moment, it was shared on Facebook today. We're not going to get into it right now, but you were a part of that. Were it not for your efforts in this Black Lives Matter moment, we wouldn't have had it. So, all right. So I said what I said. All right. I said what I said, and you proved a lot of people wrong that day too. All right. So what we're going to do right now, family, is we're going to have a short commercial break. We're going to come back with our sister, Crystal Harris Darnell.
Yep.
Or we're going to talk about the Toledo African American.
One of my books.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know.
Plug.
Okay, I didn't know we were promoting our stuff or on our stuff. Hey, this is the CSRN podcast, a week in review. We'll be right back.
It's the Panama Canal.
En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
All right, we are back. It's the CSRN podcast, our week in review. And as you know, hey, Jody's not here. We didn't just kick him out, but hey, it is what it is. We have this CSRN tradition that whenever we have someone that visits our in-person meetings or our podcast or whatever we do, we ask them who they are. What are they wearing and what are we talking about? So today is not going to be unlike any other day. So who are you? What are you wearing and what are we talking about today?
So thank you. I'm honored just to be invited.
All right.
To speak in this space. Brother Muhammad, we've known each other for a long time. My name is Crystal Harris Darnell, and I am wearing a green sweater with a bob with bangs.
Okay. All right.
Hazel eyes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Watch out now. All right.
Putting it out there.
All right. All right.
Yeah. All right.
So we had talked. I think we had talked last week. I think after we wrapped up the raising of the Pan-African flag and we brought it down and picked it up. You were talking about the Toledo African American Chamber of Commerce. How did you get involved in that? And for the people that have never heard of it, what's it about and why should people know?
Yeah. So the African American Chamber for me came out of doing some research around economic development. And so when we were talking about the dollar and how long does the dollar circulate in certain communities. And so when I heard that statistic and when they said that the dollar especially in communities of color, and the dollar only circulate for 6 hours versus, let's say, 28 days in other communities.
That's right.
I found that alarming. It's just something that's dropped in my spirit where we have to do something about this. And so looking at economic development, we know that, entrepreneurship and that in business and is a part of creating that legacy.
I'm gonna bring the microphone just a little bit closer. Yeah, because we want everybody to enjoy hearing what I'm hearing. Because I've got her right here in my ear. I would like for her to be in your ear too. But anyway, we're talking about the Toledo African American Chamber of Commerce. Mm-hmm. You talked about how the dollar circulates in our community. If we can even say circulate, 6 hours is not exactly one revolution,
And exactly. And so, and someone, saying, well, that that information has been proven that it wasn't true. And I says, okay, well, let me go back and think about this. So when we get our paycheck and our monthly expenses, and so there's four
Yeah.
top things that we spend our money on, right?
Let's
So we're
run it.
looking at, housing or rent. We're looking at food. We're looking at transportation, and we're looking at utilities. Those are the four top. Now, there's other things, of course.
Yeah.
And so then I
Yeah.
start thinking, okay, there are no black-owned grocery stores. There's
Nope.
no black-owned gas stations.
Nope.
When we talk about housing and home ownership, we know that in some communities, less than 50% of people that live in those communities own their own home. And so we don't own, any utility companies. And so when we talk about the circulation of that dollar, for me, based on the information I have, it looks like when we talk about that 6-hour window, that, for me, it's like that is true based
Right.
on, some of the data that I have.
Right, and it's critical. And I've got some people, and well, I don't care if they're hating on me, because they'll see Jody when we walk out here together. But I know that some people might say, "Well, Brother Washington, you were off just a fraction of a percentage." Okay, all right, I'm gonna let you have that. But you and I both know at the end of the day, there's only so many places that we can go to recycle our dollars.
Absolutely. And then, so we know that when we talk about small business and entrepreneurship, we know that drives community, that creates neighborhoods. And so one of the things, so that's what my passion and my vision, we talk about, we need the African American Chamber. We need, not that we're isolating anyone else, but we need a space where we can gather and we can talk and we can network and we can share information and we can share resources. And so right now, when we continue to do things in isolation, and
Right.
so that's where we get lost. And so I believe that creating community, and we have to do
Yeah.
it together, and we all have to sit around the same table. And so when I think about the African American Chamber, it's not just about entrepreneurship and building business, which that is, one of the pillars, but it's also about mentoring, it's
Right.
about coaching, it's about networking, it's about being in a space where you feel that you belong and that you can have those conversations that will again allow us to
This
connect with
sounds
each
good.
other in a
Yeah.
way that we have never been able to connect before. And so we don't have to continue to compete with each other, but it's about coming to the same table.
That's
And
right.
again, we have to understand that no one is going to do this for us. No one is coming to
That's
save
right.
us. And so how do we collectively come together and share our resources? And that's what that was the seed that was planted, that when we talk about the chamber, and it's not only that we brought the chamber together around economic development and entrepreneurship and growth and scaling business and supporting, small business, but it's also about having a space where there's businesses that's been in operation for 7, 8, 15, 20 years that we don't even know that exist. And so how do we create a platform, a network where we are promoting those businesses, and how do we help them to scale? And how do we create a space for them to market their brands or their products or their services? And right now we don't have that. And
Right.
so that's a piece of it. One of the things that you asked, well, what do we offer? So we're offering our platform to be able to highlight. If you're doing a ribbon cutting, we want to know about it. If you're opening a grand opening, we want to know
Yeah.
about it. If you're having a special sale, we want to be able to promote you through social media or through different platforms, so people know that you exist, and we want to start to patronize your business to help you to grow. And so that's the premise. And not only that, we are about transparency. I know in the past it may not have always been that way. So, there's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
some scars.
All right.
There's-
I remember.
Okay.
All right.
And so,
Okay.
but however, we got a new vision. We're talking transparency. We're talking about bringing everybody to the table. So when we talk about our board, we got the NAACP, folks on our board.
Right.
We got Black Wall Street. We got, just different
That's awesome.
people where we're not working in isolation. We're not
Right.
competing, but we're coming to the same table. We're going to share our resources, and we're going to do it together. And then we're going to partnership with other chambers. So it's not just, the African American Chamber, but we want to make sure that we are sharing our resources, and we are developing relationships because we know that if I win, that means you win, and that's what
right.
this is about.
All right. So we have the website right there on the page as ToledoAAC.org. You can log on right now. You can see the access to resources, Black Wall Street, college tech assist. Oh, college tech assistants. The entrepreneur. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're trying to. We're trying to.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, we're trying to, and we're still building. So we're still building our platform.
This is okay.
And right now we are having a membership
Oh.
drive. And so if you are a business,
Okay.
if you are an organization or a company, or if you're just an individual that just want to support something that's growing, that's going to impact not only today, but we're talking about legacy. We're talking about, I
Man,
want
this
this
is
to
awesome.
be here when I'm gone. We want this to grow in a way that's going to help the next generation. And so if you go to our website,
Right.
become a member, help us out.
We just clicked on the membership. All right. I'm going to find out. We're going to put Jody's name in and get him. I don't know if you got the platinum. Yeah, we're going to get the
Jody
platinum.
got the platinum. Okay,
Who's the
Jody.
platinum member. Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's
And
what I'm talking about.
And here's the contact info. If you want to contact, put your name, email address, and in the message in here. And you can find them on LinkedIn and Facebook at the same time. Here's some of the member benefits. Man, they say that offers more than access. It offers connection, support, and opportunity. So this is more than just a group of us coming together to the size each other up.
Yeah, the chit chat.
Yeah, the
smile,
chit chat. Right.
As Aretha would put it.
Right. And there's some, the featured events. You're going to have some events coming up. There's a Black Wall Street, Tech Night at Toll House, the Entrepreneurs Club. Jody, I think you've been to all of these. You never take me. Okay. All right.
And also we're going to start having if you are a member, we will
This is great.
have membership meetings. And so quarterly, we will get all of our members. We will get together. We will find out, okay, what are your needs? What's good? What do you need help? What do you need support to make sure that we are being intentional with our time and with our space, and that we are supporting you in a way that you need to be supported. And we're getting some feedback as well.
All right. So I don't know if this is the mission statement, but it says, welcome to the Toledo African American Chamber of Commerce, your premier resource for growth, advocacy, and collaboration in Toledo, Ohio. It says, we're committed to fostering a thriving business environment for African American entrepreneurs and professionals. Join us as we work together to build a stronger, more equitable economic future for our community.
And that's what it is.
Okay. All right.
That's what we're trying to do.
All right. So before we wrap up here, we're really big on self-care and really big on gratitude. So for you're a professional because I've seen you at an actual job. All right. All right. So what do you do for self-care?
So what I do for self-care, I exercise. I pray daily. It's because I know without that, and I have to get myself centered. Sometimes I just sit in silence.
Okay.
No TV, no radio, no music, and just to be alone with my thoughts and allow me to just kind of focus on my priorities and what's important. But I do and play a little pickleball here and there.
All right.
I'm a little competitive, so just to let you know. But just having friends around you and people around you that really support you and believe in your vision.
We were really glad you're here.
Yeah,
all right. This is going to really this is going to bump us up a bit in the people that see us, and they're going to see that we're more than just one thing because we've got Crystal on. All right. We got to be something now. All right.
Well, I hope so.
All right. And also we're big on gratitude. So if you could give us 3 things that you're grateful for, what would that be?
I'm so grateful for this opportunity, just to have people like you, and I mean that understand the vision. But I am grateful for my health. because God has allowed me the energy to be able to do this work.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's tough.
That's right.
And I just, I think I'm grateful for the vision to be able to see beyond my present situation and see what's possible for the future, not only for me, but for my family and for my community.
Hey, would you be willing to come back to share maybe some voter information and some other things that the Toledo AAC is doing in our community?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Hey, listen, we're going to take a short break, man. It is not over here. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. This is the CSRN podcast. Thank you, Crystal, for being here.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for giving me the mic.
All right. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Elgic channel. In our last video, we learned how to properly clean our TV for that perfect movie night. In case you missed it, you can check it out by clicking the link below. But what's a TV without its remote control? It's the accessory that gets handled the most and collects a lot of germs, dust, and grime. So today, we're giving it a proper clean to keep it fresh and ready for use. And the best part is that these same steps can also be used for streaming sticks, gaming controllers, and even household appliance remotes. Now, let's get it clean. To clean your remote, all you need are household items. You'll need a microfiber cloth, a small brush or toothbrush, a toothpick, rubbing alcohol or bleach-free disinfecting wipes, and a cotton swab. Now, to clean our remote, first, remove the batteries. Then, tap the back to shake out loose debris. Use a toothbrush and toothpick to remove crumbs and dirt between the buttons. Next, for an initial wipe, dampen your microfiber cloth with alcohol or use disinfecting wipes to wipe down the front, back, and side of the remote. Remember, never spray liquid directly on any controller. To ensure the areas around the buttons are disinfected, dip a cotton swab in alcohol, squeeze out the excess, and wipe the nooks and crannies around the buttons. Then, do a final wipe down. Lastly, allow the remote to air dry before reinstalling the batteries. And there you have it, a fresh and disinfected remote control. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. You can click the link in the description box below for our other tutorials. And don't forget, cleaning is a family affair. See you next time, and as always, let's get it clean.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, family, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. Big shout out to our sister, Crystal Harris Darnell from the Toledo African American Chamber of Commerce, to come in and educate us on this group economics thing that we're doing. And look, as she said, nobody's coming to save us. It is us. All right, so what are we going to do right now? I've got a very special guest, somebody that's near and dear to me, a friend of CSRN, someone that we can always go to if we're doing the most or doing too much. And I'll ask Pastor Brock, hey, should we be doing this? So one of our traditions is who you are, what are you wearing? Hey, you beat us today, all right? And what are we talking about?
Oh, we're glad to have on this jacket that I got from Detroit.
Okay, all right.
Working there when I'm glad to be here with you. I'm Pastor Brock from Mount Nebo Church. Started there when I was 27. Now we are 32 years later.
Okay, all right. That makes you
the final regime of Dr. A.L. Roach, who walked with Dr. Martin Luther King,
that's
and who taught me, who trained me for this moment that we're in
today. And all right, okay. Look, I called you maybe a week and a half ago.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to talk to you about taking it to the streets.
Yes, sir.
And a group of us see them online, and in the protest community and activist culture, sometimes we show up with the crowd, and we hardly ever show up when it's just us. So you kind of change the paradigm of care and compassion. How did that come about, taking it to the streets, when you would go out by yourself with a word of prayer, with a good word on near the same spot that something unfortunate happened? How did that come about for you?
Back training, being a young preacher, young armor bearer for the later older pastors, working with them. You do what you had to do. Tell you to do it, you do it. You by yourself.
Yeah.
You're driving a church van, you're teaching Sunday school. You by yourself. You got 2 students. You just do what you do. You go to the house, pick them up, bring them, teach them.
And
you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So you take them home. So just back training that we had when I was younger. Was blessed to be with some giants in the ministry. And then even when COVID hit, it was a downtime for the whole country, for the world.
Yeah.
And it was a moment that my media team at the church and we discussed that let's go to the streets. We couldn't come to church.
Wow.
Church was on lockdown back then. We just had just us in the video. And so what we did was take it to the streets and to the hospitals. We pray. A lot of hospitals had thousands of deaths in this city. So we go to each hospital and pray. And we continue to do that. And then it was the gun violence grew in the city of Toledo and all over the country, all over this United States of America. We said, let's go pray. Go there and taking it to the streets. And that's a good theme. And then the deacon was with, he began to play the song on this video. And we said, okay, that's our theme, taking it to the streets. Let's do it. And so that's what we did, taking it to the streets. And we continue to do it today. And it goes even further, where we even help on the streets. We don't just take it, but we make it happen for the families that are losing a loved one. We try to help them.
Right. I just happen to be in the same place with you to see that is not just taking it to the streets. You were offering your church, you were offering resources, and you didn't even know you were meeting the people when
right.
You were meeting the people when I was meeting them. Right. And unfortunately, when you talk about we're going to go out and pray, so many of us, we pray inside of our houses of worship,
right?
And it's very difficult for a lot of us to break that habit that it only happens in church.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen in the streets. So taking it to the streets, what's been kind of the response when people see you and hear you? What's been the response?
Been very positive. There's sometimes there's moments, but you can't pay moments any attention because of the assignment. God has given us this assignment. The Bible says, "Go ye into all." So our assignment is not just to sit in the sanctuary, sit in the comfort of the zone of the church. Go ye into. We're going into the world that God has given us control of if we claim it.
Yeah.
And if we live right and do what the Lord would have us to do, God will order our steps. So He's ordered our steps to be able to help those out who are unable, even with the families who are incapable. We can see it, but we have connections, and it's who you know will affect how you grow. And so we know the community, and we have a lot of good people in this community that we connect with to help us out when we need to bury a loved one of a family that we don't even know. But it's about Christ. It's never about us.
Right. And like I said, I was fortunate enough to see you open, you went beyond offering, because I think one of the oft-repeated things when something unfortunate happens, we always say, let me know if there's anything I could do. All right.
Right,
So,
right.
But I saw you go a step further by opening up your church.
Yes, sir.
Opening up your church so that one of our media friends could come and talk with the family to get the word out. And unfortunately, Pastor Brock, some of us, we have to vet the people that we think we want to help first. And if they don't have this, if they don't go to this thing, if they're not about this, we say, well, too bad, so sad. Come back when when you're making this much, or when you're driving this. You didn't know any of this. Right. And it's not often I get a chance to see that that process of that, and see somebody actually follow through, to the end. That was something, commendable for me to actually see that.
Thank you.
My next question is for us as faith leaders. How do we do that? How do we come outside of our places of worship?
It's the commission. You got to be commissioned to do that. We all are commissioned to do certain assignments.
Yeah.
Every assignment is not for every individual. We all have our ministries, our charge that the Lord gives us. And I'm excited to be able to have the charge of going into the streets and doing what we do. But I invite, I may ask, but the Lord has to lay it upon their hearts. And we move, as Christ tells us, to go ye into. Yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow. We're doing this not for us. It's never about us or why we do, because there's some dangerous moments that we walk into. But the assignment has to be on the individual's heart in order for it to be real. And it's not my assignment to lead them in that direction. The Lord has got to lead us.
Okay.
My example that I'm doing unto others as I will have them do unto me. That's the example.
I think we might need to lead some of them, give them a positive nudge too. I've got two other things that I wanted to ask you. And look, Pastor, thank you for being here.
Man, I'm excited. We go back, man.
Man, all right.
You taught me what really assalamu alaikum means, brother.
Okay, all right.
I met Farrakhan with you. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
I sat down and talked to him many times.
That's
Brought
awesome.
him to Detroit with me.
Yes, sir. Man.
Yes, sir.
Man. All right. Man. Okay. All right. I'm like, don't you cry. All right. All right. Man, how do you handle knowing that there's a danger being at the space where something unfortunate happened? All right, it's just a risk. What is it that makes you overcome that thing?
Now, I work with the schools with kids, and as the ombudsman, and some kids 6'5", and they got trouble, they got gun, they got this. You can't be scared of them because they're kids. That's the same thing on the streets. The Lord has given us the authority to be able to go where we need to go to represent him. So you can't be afraid when you go, because I get it all the time. Be careful. We are.
Yeah. We get that too. All right.
Yeah. But on the flip side, you got to do what you got to do.
That's right.
And you can't, you can't go at 2:00 in the morning.
That's right.
And so you go and you do what you do and you get out. But we've been in a safe place for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
God's been blessing us to do this.
We've been watching. We've definitely been watching that. And for some of us that are watching this for the first time, and you want to find your way as a faith leader, you want to find your way, give Pastor Brock a call. He's not hard to find because we found him. All right. Or just go on the street.
Right.
He's right there. All right. Lastly, we want to talk about self-care. We want to talk about gratitude. What do you do for self-care? All right.
Oh man, I'm a gym rat. I work out. I still play basketball with the college kids. I said about being connected in the community. We're connected with University of Toledo, and they help us to get passes. So we go over there as mentors.
Oh, that's awesome.
And work with the kids. Matter of fact, we're going to sponsor a group of kids, youngsters, to be able to go over to university for free.
Wow. Okay.
And it's about 100 of them. We're going to help them.
Okay.
Because those are our babies. But then on the flip side, I love going to the gym. When I grew up playing basketball.
That's beautiful. All right.
Grew up playing football.
Okay.
Porky, you know Porky.
Yeah.
I played sports with him.
Okay.
Him and I were athletes together.
I had no idea. All
Yeah,
right.
man.
Okay.
So I'm a basketball fanatic, football, and then I go over to the rec. I lift weights. I jog. I play basketball with the young. They call me OG.
Yeah. Well.
Real,
okay. All
pastor.
right. All right. Okay. Well, you earned.
They call me uncle.
You've earned all of those. All right.
The craziest thing, I saw some kids at a restaurant, and they were acting like bad. And when they saw me, they knew me from the gym. They said, "Hey, uncle," and they calmed down.
Oh, good. All right. All right. Lastly, we're big on gratitude because that's that thing that allows us to continue moving, because sometimes it's not all about us, but there's something that we have to work on that's bigger than us. So 3 things that you're grateful for, Pastor Brock. What would those 3 things be?
I'm grateful for being here, this moment that you allowed us to have this opportunity, this grace moment to be able to share the information. I'm grateful for life. So many people who couldn't sit here 10 years ago. COVID took a lot of them out.
Yeah,
we lost a lot, and I'm grateful for to be able to stand for the people, to be able to speak on behalf of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
That's beautiful, and we appreciate you that you not only talk it and preach it. I've watched you walk it too. It is not a lot of us really that do that, and there are some. So hey, y'all don't start calling me.
Right. Good people out there.
Yeah, it is. However, God raises and ascends whom He pleases. And I got to recognize that, because we want to be better at CSRN. We want to be better doing what we do, and there is a spiritual component. That's why we bring you in, so we know that God is on our side. If we got you here, would you be willing to come back at another time if there's something that you're doing? If it's the silent soldiers, if it's whatever you're doing, would you mind coming back and
Would
talk?
love to. Yes, sir. I'm honored to be here.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
thank both of you.
All right. Hey, family, we're going to be right back with Jody and in our community updates in 5 minutes of heat. This is the CSRN podcast. Thank you, Pastor Brock. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
All right, we are back, and big shout out to our guests, Crystal Harris Darnell. Thank you, sis, for being here with us. Brother Pastor Cedric Brock from Mount Nebo Church and taking it to the streets. Thank you, brother. I'll see you this weekend. All right, thank you. Family, one of the things that we want to, just a bit of gratitude for Jody, for the people that we've come in contact with this podcast space. For somebody like Crystal with the African American Chamber of Commerce, and Pastor Cedric Brock with Mount Nebo Church in his segment that he does online called Taking It to the Streets, and so many other people that we met on this journey. Just gratitude, and also you, Jody, for both of us staying in this space,
doing the course. And it's again, until you have that decade behind you, or even a year. Some people don't even make it their first 3 months, but you look back at the things over the course of time of stuff. I was beginning of last year, I was going to a few entrepreneur meetings and stuff hosted by Gutter Dave from the Arts Commission and stuff. And then one person had mentioned, if you've ever seen the Effortless logo around Toledo.
Yeah, I've seen
about things that you might worry about, or if you're getting started. And it was just, will it matter in 10 years? And I think back to 10 years ago, all the stuff that I was doing and my output and algorithm and all the stuff has slowed down now for me, but I have this long history of showing up everywhere all the time, being there because it was important, it was needed. I can't say I had my youth, but I had more of that inspiration of not knowing to be there. Now I do know I can, manage my time better, see within a couple paragraphs or sentence, are you going to be within that 10-year gap of how important this was? And then I love that too, because, I can't say I never didn't do it.
That's right. Hey, before we get into our community updates, because it's 7:02. All right, they're going to start flicking the lights on and off here. This week, we're coming up to the end of Ramadan.
Yes.
So for all my Muslim brothers and sisters and those that are practicing Ramadan, we say Ramadan Mubarak, which means blessed Ramadan, and the response will be Ramadan Kareem. We are planning to have Eid. For a lot of the mosques are going to be having Eid at their mosque, or maybe at a banquet hall. We're going to do the same. The brothers and sisters of the Nation of Islam will be doing the same. Tonight is called, I don't have the graphic up here, it's called Night of Power. And near the end of Ramadan, there's a night that we take in particular for prayer, and hoping that we can, settle our differences and come out of this thing better. So big shout out to everybody that's practicing. And you've been with me. You've been practicing Ramadan with us, Jody. Mad respect for you for that. Man, we really got to get out of here. I want to switch it to our community updates that's happening in those things that are happening in our community. What are some of the things, Jody, that you've seen that's happening or coming up that we think that everyone needs to know?
Well, just in case you missed it, these are the past updates from the Lucas County and Toledo, Ohio area that happened. Last Tuesday was the inaugural open mic at at a new nightclub. It used to be called Arnie's, but a friend of mine, a friend of the show, Sunkiss, she's also hosting over there. But that was their inaugural night. It was beautiful. There was lots of poets to show up, and it's actually happening again tonight. Doors open at 7. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it. I got some other things on my plate, but tonight they are having twisted poetry, and they have Taco Tuesday. Today is, if you are indulging that and everything, $2 green tea shots, BOGO drinks, and there's going to be lots of poets. So shout out to everybody that may be able to make it out there tonight. Also, some things that were going on, back to my events and everything like that, because this is how it actually happens. I don't got no script that I'm reading from a teleprompter. I just, go out and do stuff, try and share
That's right.
other people's things that's going on. So on Wednesday at March 11th, there was Dooley's Blues at Riverside Barbecue Company. That's over there in the historic Vistula area, over on 915 Summit. So if you were able to make that, that's some more music for you. There was the Wonder Bread Porter album release party at the Eastside Cantina. A lot of my friends were able to make that. That was 125 Oak Street. March 14th, Saturday, the 2026 O West End T-shirt design contest. It got extended through midnight of March 16th. So if you were able to make the deadline and stuff, look forward to seeing your design prizes and T-shirts and everything like that. Saturday and Friday, there was Fantasticon Toledo, and that was at the Glass City Center. Unfortunately, this is the first year I wasn't able to make it. Last year I took my daughter and she loved it, but I did see a lot more of my friends out there. Shout out to Boom the Bomb and some other people that are getting into cosplay and stuff like that. So if you were able to make it, I'll be looking for your photos to like them and stuff like that.
Right.
And see what I missed. Saturday, March 14th, there was the Taste of the Islands at 4224 Airport Highway, a new restaurant, I'm guessing, that's opening or was having something going on. There was a friend of the show, Rochelle Morshaw. She had that going on. There was Uncloistered Poetry also Saturday that I was able to make, and it was a beautiful guest of host. We had One Single Rose, Adrian Lime, and I can't see the last name on the flyer, but now I got it.
Oh, I thought I was supposed to know the name. I'm like, you not today.
But and Sue Balstein, and I was able to do the mom piece for Women's History Month and everything like that, and give a snippet, which you'll be hearing tomorrow, of the poem that you heard on last week's show of Laughing at Myself. So that was very fun. So all my poetry friends. On Saturday was a super busy day. Second Saturday salon at El Centro Hub. This was 2357 Scottwood, an event going on there. And then Sunday, March 15th, a friend of the show who's also hosting tonight, Sunkiss Open House. She has moved location. So if you're looking for her Respect Your Crown services and everything like that, she has moved services, and she just had her first open house on Sunday. Sunday, also the 15th, to Film Toledo had the 2026 Oscar watch party at Risky Red Saloon. And there was the People, Progress, Possibilities exhibit open reception at the Lucas County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and brought to you by Lucas County Public Library, and that was at the main library. So if you're able to make that, those were just some of the things that were going on in the Toledo, Ohio area passed last week. This week coming up, tomorrow at 7 p.m., we have Poetry and Soul Sessions with Kay Renee at 1447 North Summit Street. That's Toll House. Lucille's is inside Toll House, and there is some awesome guests. Dream Steve, she was actually one of our guests last year, I want to say, and she's a native of Columbus and everything, so she'll be out. And also Shelby Faulkner. She goes by Poetess. She'll be one of the features this month. I'm trying to see if there is a third one. Sometimes we do 3, but everything doesn't want to pull up because everybody's commenting on me right now.
All right.
Of all the sharing, but come out, Poetry and Soul. You'll get the full version live of Laughing at Myself, Mom for Black History Month, or not Black History Month, but Women's History Month. And the piece that I'm reading today, if there's time for the open mic, depending on how many people there are, I normally do 2, but sometimes there's 3, but I'll be doing that one that you'll hear tonight. Also, this Thursday at 7 p.m., there is studio sessions with Carmelita Griswold. That is 4062 Monroe Street. Also, this Friday at 5:30, if you're wondering what's going on with the best museum in the country 2 times in a row, there is the Toledo Museum of Art Town Hall. And I believe that they're going to be explaining what's going on during the spring and summer as we restore.
It's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening.
Yeah, the Museum of Art is going through a big restoration, the biggest in the history since the building's been built. And all of us workers and everything there are very curious to see what is going to be said at the town hall. Shout out to Adam Levine, not the singer, our director and everything like that. But also this Saturday at 8 a.m., there is the Brotherhood Circle meetup at Jamai Cafe. I might be saying that wrong, but it's 1300 Jefferson Avenue. That is this Saturday at 8 a.m. So if you want to connect with some brothers and everything like that, and it's a circle meetup for a whole bunch of reasons and everything like that, that is going on. You can check my page for more information. This Saturday at 10 a.m. is Ohio Voices, a Poetic History. It's a virtual event that's online. You want to find out more information, you go to my page, but it's also on the Ohio Poetry Association page. Shout out to everybody over there. This Saturday is the 2026 Old West End Festival volunteer sign up. So if you want to volunteer, about getting in the parade and you don't want to be walking with somebody's sign like I've been doing for the last 11 years.
Yep.
But you can volunteer. You'll be part of the parade and all that good stuff. So the sign up is at 2492 Scottwood. And then this Saturday at 5 p.m., there is the Connected Spring Equinox event going on. This is at 415 North Michigan, 1 block down from the main library downtown. That is my friend C. Taro. And then right after that, she is having the open mic healing poetry at the same building. So if you come at 5, stay until the open mic and everything like that. And then that is everything until next Wednesday. And I'll read next Wednesday, Tuesday that I got. If you got any events going on in the community or stuff like that, hit me up, tag me in them, and I will share them as much as possible to not only my page, things for nightclubs and restaurants I do not share on our community page, but for things like Crystal was here for the African American Legacy League and stuff that's going on with your city. If you want to know about city council meetings or commissioners forums, I share them to our page. Things that are going on like with Sonia and other businesses, Black owned, I share them as much as I can. So tag me and I will make sure they get the visibility that a bot can't buy.
All right. Okay. And a big shout out to Danetta Carter, our friend. She also shares our podcast alerts on her page. And Joseph Dewey, he says, greetings from far, far away. I don't know if he's in the upper peninsula of Michigan or not. So big shout out to everybody that takes the time to join our podcast, comment, and just let us know that you're listening. Hey, before we close out, there was something that I wanted to comment on, which is the the Dr. King Breaking the Silence, Our Time to Break the Silence. That's going to be Sunday, April 19th. I'm going to be one of the readers.
I'll be one of the readers.
Yeah, and it's and also there's going to be a youth art show and a program and organization fair. So apparently we're going to have to get our CSRN table and
yep, that's what I was wondering, because I haven't been out vending much this year, so I could bring out some art and books and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, and let's see, something else I wanted to share before we get into 5 minutes of heat.
Did you do your Black Lives Matter moment?
No, my Black Lives Matter moment was, man, I'm not going to share my Facebook page, but
the Twyla Awards.
Yeah, maybe I can.
Yeah. So for everybody that's watching that did watch the Oscars, shout out to the movie, which I still haven't seen because I was supposed to go with somebody and I just felt like it would ruin it because time never passed. But Sinners took the bank on everything, from what I can tell.
Yeah, and I was glad about that.
I think to Ryan Coogler and all of that.
Right. So shout out to all of them. Yeah, this was my Black Lives Matter moment. I'm gonna share it on. Let me take this poster down and share my screen.
Our very first award show, where we gave out wooden masks that were donated to us for the event. Like every time we've done one of those, we've had different things that you could take home with them. One year we had the giant wooden mask, then we had the awards and the glass fist, and then we had the boxes that we did with donations from all Black creators and entrepreneurs around the city that you got to take home and then go to their business and be like, hey, I want more of that.
Right.
But this was our very first go at it. Our very first, I guess you could say, Oscars, Emmys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Grammys, all that good stuff that we funded, and I'll let you tell the rest.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Pastor Brock was a part of those people that I call it the shakedown, because since I'm older, I know a lot of us older people that would just love to participate and donate and support some of these grassroots revolutionary things that are happening. In the Black Lives Matter Awards was just that. And we called them the Twylas after our sister Twyla Page, and we had called her ahead of time. Hey, can we use your name for the awards? And I thought that us being able to do this really shut down a lot of that talk when people say, well, why don't they do it for us? Well, why don't we do it for us?
Right.
So that was my Black Lives Matter moment. Let me bring that screen down. And also share for this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. Make sure you pick this up. We're going to be on the corners of Detroit and Bancroft. That's kind of our spot right now. It's called Escalation Amid More Bloodshed. And you know what's happening in Iran in the war with the United States and Israel against Iran. And we're watching in real time how everybody's not showing up for America as they did, after 9/11.
Well, it's an operation like Russia is doing with Ukraine. It's not technically.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You can call it what you want, but pick up this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. And right now, I want to turn it over to you for 5 minutes of heat, and that's how we close out. We don't close out with banging the gavel. We use creative expression, and we took that name 5 minutes of heat, kind of remixed 5 minutes of funk from Houdini from back in the 90s. So now we have something that we do at the end of our meeting. So, Jody, what do you have for us today?
Today, we're going to continue. It's been very interesting going through Ramadan and cleansing and getting all this stuff out, because hopefully over this summer, I'll release the self-care checklist after the childhood trauma series turns 1 year in May, and I'm continuing the trend, except that series is going to go on hiatus for at least a year or two as I get out some individual projects instead of series. But this piece came to me the other day, last night actually.
All right.
So while I was taking my detox, I was thinking somewhat as a part two of laughing at myself, but I took that one of the words out of there, and you might recognize it, and just turned it into a poem as I get my creative juices flowing for National Poetry Month. Also, when you see me at open mics or out around the city, if you are a local published author, I will give you an application to put your book in the library. Very important. Even if your book is 10 years old, you should put it in the library because it's important and is one of the last vestiges as bookstores around the country, as I've seen, are struggling to stay up. You can at least be in the library and it always be there. Now, if people order it, they'll order more of yours, but to get that in the first place. So this piece is called High. Not that high. Let's begin. Peace. I've never been good at saying goodbye because I'm usually the one that never gets to say it. I'm always left holding the rope too tight, too long when I should let go. Even though my hands are sore, cut or bleeding from holding on to this thing that should be let go. And it's either time, distance, or death before I realize I'm the only one holding on to this weight that I hold. This inevitability that sideswipes me when I think I'm on smooth road, some misunderstanding or thing that I missed, and now time has this moment on hold. I am horrible, yes, horrible at saying goodbye because I always think there's more time, some magic moment that shouldn't be missed, and now I have to do it alone, reminiscing about the good times because that's the only time I have left to hold. I've never been good at saying goodbye, but I'm really good at saying hello. Sometimes I start things knowing that they'll end and I may never get a goodbye, but it's easier than being alone. Maybe this time, yes, this time I'll be able to say goodbye instead of just hello. Hi, my name is, and maybe this time things will work out and neither one of us will have an unanswered goodbye. At least that's my hope, because I've never been good at saying goodbye, and it's so much easier to say hello. And peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. Great job today. Big shout out once again to Pastor Cedric Brock and Crystal Harris Darnell from the Toledo African American Chamber of Commerce. You can see them at ToledoAAC.org. You can find Pastor Brock at Mount Nebo Church or when he's taking it to the streets. But as always, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. And Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else?
Yeah.
Peace.